It is Tuesday. It is the 18th of March. I'm Monita Rajpal. You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. We've got two big and developing stories for you right now. Russian President Vladimir Putin is due to speak in just under an hour. He'll be talking to his parliament about Crimea's request to join the Russian Federation. We'll take you live to the region shortly. But first, the mystery of missing Flight 370. This is what we know after the daily briefing just a short time ago. The search area is huge. It's been expanded to 2.25 million square nautical miles. An agonizing 11 days for the families and loved ones on those on board Flight 370. One of the passengers is American Phil Wood. He and his partner Sarah Bajic were planning to get married this year. She spoke with CNN's David McKenzie in Beijing, and she told David she's clinging to hope the plane was hijacked and that Wood and his fellow passengers are still alive.
The entire U.S. population is reliving things like 9/11 in this experience, right? If a hospital gown, if that's the case. So, yep, it's all ready.
It's an incredibly brave and strong woman there. Well, let's take you live now to Kuala Lumpur and CNN's Jim Clancy. And Jim, we heard there just one of the countless number of stories that are out there of family members waiting and watching these news conferences that are being held by Malaysian authorities with such interest for there to be any sort of clue. What we do know now is that the search is now, we're looking at over 2 million square nautical miles.
That's right. They split it up into 7 quadrants in the northern arc and 7.
Jim, thank you. Jim Clancy there live for us from Kuala Lumpur. You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Vladimir Putin has laid the groundwork for welcoming Crimea into the Russian Federation. He prepares to address Parliament in the coming hour. You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. The Russian President Vladimir Putin is due to speak on the future of Crimea in just a few minutes' time. Tuesday morning, he formally notified Parliament that Crimea has asked to join the Russian Federation. On Monday, Mr. Putin signed a decree recognizing the independence and sovereignty of the Republic of Crimea. Michael Holmes is in the Crimean capital. He joins us now live. And Michael, so I guess that there are those who will be saying everything that happens now is just a formality. It's a done deal. So from a logistics perspective, what does it mean now for Crimea?
Yeah, you know, it is all moving rather quickly, Monita. The Crimean delegation meeting with the Duma leadership.
Michael, thank you so much. Michael Holmes there live for us from the capital there of Crimea. Well, the potential annexation of Crimea could further escalate tensions between the United States and Russia. Many Americans see Russia as a threat to the U.S. Fred Pleiken examines whether we're entering a new Cold War.
As most Crimeans celebrate their vote to join Russia, Moscow is bracing for a possible new ice age in relations with the West.
And of course, we will bring you President Putin's speech live next hour here on CNN. Some of the other stories that we're also following here on CNN News Center. Suicide bombing has killed at least 15 people at a market in northern Afghanistan. 37 others were wounded in the blast. A government official says the bomber detonated a rickshaw that was packed with explosives. The blast took place just 300 meters from the home of a deputy governor. The Oscar Pistorius murder trial has been hearing testimony from the crime scene photographer today. The track star has pleaded not guilty to murdering his girlfriend on Valentine's Day last year. He says he shot her accidentally because he thought she was an intruder. The court also heard part of an affidavit by a blood spatter expert, which said Pistorius' story is consistent with the evidence. Tributes from the fashion world in Hollywood are pouring in after the death of designer Lorenz Scott. The longtime girlfriend of rock legend Mick Jagger has died. Official says Mick Jagger's girlfriend apparently committed suicide by hanging herself in her Manhattan apartment. Jagger's spokesman says he's completely shocked and devastated by the news. The Rolling Stones have cancelled Wednesday's concert in Perth, Australia. New York police say they do not suspect foul play in Lorenz Scott's death. 8 Chinese crew members are missing after 2 cargo ships collided just outside Japan's Tokyo Bay early Tuesday. 12 other crew members have been rescued. 1 is seriously injured. Officials say a Panamanian-flagged vessel collided with a South Korean ship, causing it to sink. Japan's Transportation Safety Board is investigating. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. He claims to have survived more than a year at sea. Now Salvadoran castaway Jose Salvador Alvarenga has returned to Mexico. It was an emotional meeting, though, with the family of his shipmate who did not make it home. Rafael Romo reports.
It was the promise he made to a dying man.
The windy weather approaching Western Europe has helped clear the air in Paris. Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center. Mari, it wasn't looking pretty good there over the last few days, but clearing up now?
It is looking much, much better. Still, pollution levels are in the medium category, according to officials. A long time ago. Maybe help us understand how we all got here.
Yeah, it's continuously fascinating, isn't it, Mari? Thank you so much. You're watching CNN News Center. I'm Monita Rajpal, live at CNN Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us. CNN Newsroom with Max Foster in London is next.